Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So we're back here in Tuscany and just have moved into the level 7 orders. So focus right now is going to be pretty simple. It's going to be to start filling everything that we've got available to us to go ahead and work. So first off, let's just see where we're at. This is typically the time for those who are new that we explain what we're doing, as well as, obviously for those who aren't new to understand what we need to do. So the focus of this series, or any of my VIP series, this is season 2, so there is a whole first season if you want to go ahead and look at that if you haven't and you're new to the channel. I encourage you to go find that playlist and work through that. And you can see how this all started. Here in level 2 in Tuscany, there have been some changes to make it more difficult. Certainly I feel we have achieved that. It is absolutely more difficult. But think of the VIP Order Manager, which is the mod that is kind of what brings the focus to this series. It's a little bit like a quest manager, or exactly what it's called, an order manager. So these are the orders that VIPs are giving us that we need to fill, and the active level is always what we're working on, and we cannot fulfill anything in any future levels. We won't get credit for those, but we at least get to see things, so that if we have some time, if we're waiting around, for example, that we can just go ahead and work further forward and try to make some progress. So we're looking here at a couple crops. Those are probably going to be the last things I'm going to look at now, because I know they're going to take the longest, because I don't have any really large carriers of crop, just because of the nature of this map in Italy. It's very tight. I can't really run large trucks and trailers around very easily, so we're moving under 20,000 liters at a time. So an order like this, for example, it's going to take over half a dozen moves to go ahead and get done. And then we've got lettuce, olive oil, and cloves. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and go get some cloves. And those are over right here in this space. So the challenge becomes really the best way to do this. So we need 4,000 liters. We have 4 pallets there. So I'm likely going to go ahead and back in here, so let me do that. Alright, so we've got 8,000 liters of cloves, and we need to take it to the 0 kilometer shop, which we're quite familiar with. It's just literally right around the corner here in town. So it's the shop that's a little further over there. We've learned a while back we can't fit through that arch with the truck. So we have to be a little roundabout here. We can come in this way. Hopefully I can get enough speed. And we'll come in this way, and we should have our first VIP order of level 7 taken care of. And more importantly, we will make some income here, so you can see VIP orders counting down. And it goes green when we do fulfill the order completely. So we have done that. We've got our sold product, plus sometimes we just get from Precision Farming the environmental score award based on how we're taking care of our fields and so forth, which is important, but certainly not something I'm focusing a lot on in this series. It's once again just kind of really straight focused to the VIP orders. I was almost made a different comment that honestly would have been less appropriate. So next I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and grab the olive oil. So we're going to head over to the oil mill, which is around here and up the hill a little bit in, I don't know that I'd say a part of town per se, because I'm thinking on this map I'd say we're really, we have a town, which is kind of where we were at there, and then, you know, spread areas around. So, but it's more of another neighborhood, kind of like over here, you know, we've got those buildings and so forth. But there's a neighborhood up in the area. Whoops. This is exactly my point. You know, even hauling this truck around. So to do crops, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. And I also have been a little nervous with the funds as they sit, you know, as to what and how I really want to focus. So let's see. We can go here. A little bit messy through the field. Oh, I guess I should have really turned. I was thinking, I don't need to turn, but no, I do. So back on our way. Just a challenging little bit of a map to get around, but that's, you know, part of what we've got here in Italy. I think I'm going to just come in this way, and we need 17,000 liters, and I'm not sure that we have it. I think we're close, but this is going to be something that we'll find out shortly. There we go. So it's picking everything up. It's not looking good, I'll tell you that. And we can see here that we are 1,000 liters short. So I'm going to go ahead and get some more olives. So we are here. And this is our olive harvester right outside the farm. So we've got that field that I'm turning toward now, and this one right here is our main, easiest to get olive groves. I felt as I was going along that I might be slightly short. I was kind of hoping against hope that that was not going to be the case, and I was wrong. Alright, so we'll get everything adjusted. And so we get this set to 3 meters, and then that lines us up on the rows pretty easily, but it won't hurt to get some extra olives. So I'll start running down that second row. You can see we're going to be about 400 liters here. A little bit more, so not a ton, but a good amount. And I had looked, I had 367 liters already created of olive oil. And so if we look at the olive mill, we need 2 to make 1. So given that I need basically 600 or so, I need maybe 1,200 liters just to be, well, I need 600 and to be safe, let's say 640, so I really need like 1,320 liters at least. I'm probably going to need to run, you know, probably just run 4 rows. So let me get these couple more rows done. No reason to drag you along for that. So hopping back here as I finish this 4th row, because there's really not a reason to not just finish the row and then let it grow back and be ready to go, because there's no other use for olives in this area that I have right now is other than to go to the olive mill. So part of what I was able to do is you can make adjustments to what the VIPs will ask for. So I had learned some of that. Again, if you go back to that first series, you'll see some of those growing pains of trying to understand the nuances of the mod. So we'll turn this off. Actually, we'll probably just put it this way because it'll be easier to get the trailer in. I'm going to go ahead and use this tractor. It's my biggest tractor. So as far as tooling around town, going up and down hills with loaded wagons, this will be the best. You know, 1,300, 1,400 liters, you know, whatever it is, 1,600 liters of olives. Isn't going to be that heavy, but then we're going to be right back here to the silo in a bit, moving around the crops and so forth. Going back to what I was sharing, I'm able to say, yeah, there's things I don't necessarily need or want to be having the VIPs ask for. So there were some raw products, such as wool that's sitting there from the sheep, or olives that are here, that the VIPs could absolutely ask for. But one of the decisions here was I want a little bit more focus on some of the more challenging aspects of, let's kind of get to the final production amount of, say, olives, which is olive oil. And so VIPs won't ever order raw olives. They're just going to order olive oil. So while I don't have any orders for olive oil, it could come. And it's also the only use for olives on the map other than that I'm aware of. There's a possibility maybe that there's some potato order at the potato processing mod that I have, because there's lots of things there that maybe use olives along with the potatoes, but I don't recall that offhand as something that was working. So I'm probably actually going to leave this way, because there's honestly no point in making things more difficult than they need to be. In the end, I'm taking this trailer exactly where I took the truck to get these olives in. But you can see we have 1,623. This should be more than enough. But one of the things that happens in this series, which is where it gets to be a bit of a challenge even to keep up with the basically weekly pace that I have. If you're trying to understand, again, you're new to the series, you want to kind of know, hey, when do I come back for the next episode? Basically, the episodes will appear on Friday or Saturday, and it alternates each week, because basically what I was doing when the channel was very Farming Simulator focused was Farming Simulator was on the channel every other day, and then there was some other sim in the days in between. As the channel has evolved, I no longer do my real-time server series kind of as a ongoing dialogue or monologue of things, but instead have consolidated those down to year-long episodes that are released every 2 weeks or so, depending on when I get things done and when the video's edited and so forth. There's less of that content, so I don't have a Farming Simulator video every other day, but this series has stayed in that same vein, and so what that turned into is, because it was every other day, it kind of slid between Friday and Saturday. It was basically the weekend series, but as opposed to some channels who might be like, this shows up on Saturday every week. I'm just maintaining that, in case I ever get back to the point where I'm generating loads and loads of Farming Simulator content and so forth. But even keeping up with that pace can be a challenge, because I'm usually doing hours and hours of work off camera. It's honestly been averaging 6 to 10 hours of actual gameplay to get a single episode for this series together, which can add up over the course of a week when I'm doing other things like the PGA series and stuff like that I also enjoy. The good news of doing the olives now is it's probably going to take me quite some time to deliver the remaining VIP orders. I don't know that I have enough lettuce, but if I do, because right now I know I have enough crops, and at this point we're going to leave the lettuce go, because if I don't have enough lettuce, that's not going to change now by going to pick it up. I'm not going to empty the olives and then go and move lettuce. So at this point, we're just going to let the olive mill do its thing, with the hope that it will output the 1,000 liters of olives by the time I get everything else done. And I think that's going to be pretty likely, because I'm likely having quite a bit of time to go ahead and haul those other crops around. So at this point, I'm going to stop here, and we're going to take a look again at the orders to just verify. But yes, other than the olive oil and the lettuce, we've got the spelt and triticale. So I'm going to go ahead and deliver the triticale just because it's the 0 kilometer shop and it's right there. So I'm going to start hauling that. Again, watching me go back and forth between the silo and there is, for most people, not incredibly appealing. If you're one of those people and want to see every single moment certainly let me know. I mean, I've used to do videos on the channel. Usually not these more, I wouldn't say scripted series, because this isn't a role play series or anything like that where I'm playing specific characters, but you know, it's kind of a hybrid. You know, certainly there's a storyline I have here of why I'm here and so forth, which once again, you know, you watch the first series, you'll understand. And then, you know, there's an introduction video even to this season that explains how we moved here and kind of what we were doing in a previous series. So if you want the story aspect of this, go back to what I think I deemed episode 0 in this series, and you'll have that information open to you. Usually I'll just kind of jump around because people are coming to series like this to see hopefully some forward progress and not just hours and hours, especially spread over weeks and weeks of just doing things. So, you know, the reality would be that, you know, you'd be watching me haul this, and the video would probably be just triticale, and then we'd have another video for the spelt, and, you know, obviously at a week at a time, those are spreading out quite a bit. Well, that's right, I'm not dropping loads off. It's been so long since I pulled anything out of this silo, I forget where I need to go. But I need to go here. It's getting dark, and yeah, we may end up going to sleep at some point, because I don't necessarily need to haul into the evening, but I may. We'll see where the mood strikes me. And so all of that will help the olive oil get ready. So you can see we've got a lot of different crops, but we are looking for this one. I'm confused. I am very confused. I thought I had 100 and... oh boy. Okay, well, that's the other problem we have. Now I remember. I think I had to plant more triticale. So we're also waiting for triticale. So there's a possibility, well, there's a certainty now that we will have enough olive oil, because the triticale field is, I believe, this one that is growing. No, I'm wrong. That's right. It is this one that is growing. So if you go back, and you can see we're still way early in the growing cycle. So I'm going to have 6 months or so that I'm waiting for the triticale to get done, because I forgot I don't have enough of it to fill the order. But I'll still get all this hauled over, because in the end I will need less than a full trailer load of this 18,500 liters that this trailer holds to get me from the 162 and change that I have to the 176,000 that I need to fill the order. But this is how the VIP order series works. We're just kind of moving along, and just like a farmer who would be fulfilling orders this way, where we've got folks in town who are asking for product and we're running our business, being part of that supply and demand chain. So they demand 176,000 liters of triticale, and I am here to give it to them. And sometimes, you know, we've got to do a little bit more work to do that. So we did grow. I think we did already have 2 cycles. I think I started with triticale on some fields when I was finishing other crops that I needed for earlier levels. But, you know, it didn't work that way. So at this point, now that I've kept you with me this long, we'll get this dumped, and there you can see another VIP order starting to get serviced. So I'm going to get this moving along, and then I'm also going to go ahead and start filling the spelt, and I will jump back at that point as we're getting the spelt done, because that I do have enough of. So we'll be able to get that order, but I was thinking the triticale order would be done and the spelt order would be done. So I was initially going to bring you back at the triticale completion, but that's going to happen much later, because we're going to have to... oh, there's a bit of an accident here in the hills of Tuscany. Anyway, we'll get this sorted out. I'll see you in a bit. Alright, here to pick up the last bit of spelt. You can see we got 42,000, but we need 13,500 liters to finish the order. Resale cereal is right here, back in this complex. So there's cereal storage that we're passing by, and then resale cereal themselves is around back here. So obviously you can see we've got the tracks from driving around quite a bit. And you can see between Triticale and this, it's taken me about an hour. I don't know that you can see easily because it's, you know, things have moved. I've also slept through the night, but just so you're aware. So there we go. Our second VIP order of the 5 is done. We got olive oil in plenty of time, so that is going to be our next delivery. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave this up here on around the field, because again I need the Triticale field once it is ready to go. But as you can see, we're only at growth stage 3 of 7 here. So we're fully loaded because we sat here with the auto load on. I have since set the limiter in case another pallet had popped out. I don't know that I have enough olives to do that. But we need to get to the Santo Spirito market here. So we'll take this little curvy road down from the olive mill. Just no point in taking any shorter path that's just going to be more challenging to run, because we are going to have to go down toward the town. So if you're unfamiliar with the layout of the map, you're looking at field 22 straight ahead. That's the edge of the map. We've got our cereal mill at the north end of that. That's the tall building there. And down that road is where all the markets, the potato processing, kind of most of our sell points, outside of course, the ones we've been sent to for this with the VIPs. But we do get Mercado Centrale and Santo Spirito quite often. So the traffic is a little unique on the map. But yeah, we are running in, and so my goal is absolutely to get level 7 done so that we can see what the next level of orders after level 8 is. Because, you know, unless I've got a significant problem. So the first place here is Santo Spirito. The one next to it is Mercado Centrale. So we want to... Whoops, this is... I forget. This is probably actually it for the pallets. So there we go. And obviously, unless we get a quirk where we're short a liter or two or something, which sometimes happens, this should green up and we should be in good shape. And we're then going to go ahead and get the lettuce. There we go. So 3 of 5. The trailer itself can do 50,000. I need 55,000 liters, so I'm going to need more than the trailer. I'm going to try to get really close here. There we go. Because what I don't want to do is have it suddenly pick up tomatoes. You know, I'm probably going to, go ahead and let it get these loaded from the greenhouse. It's also getting a couple behind. You know, I'm worried that I may still not even have 50,000, because keep in mind it's 500 liters per pallet, and so that means I need 100 just to hit 100 pallets just to hit the 50,000. So I need 110 pallets to get the 55,000, and you can see, I mean, we're picking up a lot here, you know, so we're doing okay, but we're certainly not anywhere near the level that I would like to see. So part of the challenge, I'm having to straighten things out, because if the pallets aren't flat, if they're laying on their side, they won't load. Alright, so yeah, we're still not here. 46,000-ish, 45,000. So I've got 10,000 liters still to go. That is nuts. If you really think about it, it's absolutely nuts. So I've turned auto load off because I did determine, and I think at this point, because of how much I have, it wouldn't be a problem. But when I was leaving the trailer there and I was thinking, oh, I'll just let it auto load, I was parked very, very close, right on the border here, it still would reach across and get the lettuce as it came out. And so the problem I ended up having was I had to redo a section. Luckily I had saved nearby, and it worked out okay, because it was basically toggling between tomatoes and lettuce, and basically I lost 10,000 liters of tomatoes or something. It was some crazy number before I noticed what was happening. Which you can see, we're at 303 liters of lettuce, so we're going to have another one coming out, but we need 10,000 liters, so I need 20 more pallets. You know, the nice thing here is, though, I don't need anything else. You know, I need the triticale, but I don't need the truck other than for the lettuce here. You know, what we'll do is we'll get to the triticale if I don't have a full truck yet, which is highly probable that I won't, because I think we only get like 1,000 liters every day. And so we're probably only going to get like 4,000 more liters by the time the triticale is ready to be harvested, and that should be a pretty quick harvest at that point. But then I'll run the load over, and then we'll be back here for the last 5,000 as that goes, but that's for likely going to be another 5 or 6 months. So we're probably still looking at another year. I wouldn't be surprised if we're back here in the spring again before we finish this level up. But at this point, you know, I'm obviously going to monitor the greenhouse, make sure that it's continuing to produce, and that it doesn't slow down on me at any point in time. But at this point, I'm going to go ahead and probably get to the triticale harvest and start getting ready to deliver that, and we'll be back at that point, so I'll see you in a bit. So we are here, as you can see, in September, going ahead and harvesting the triticale. So we're going to get moving along here. Now I've adjusted, so we need 13,500 liters, as I said. So it's getting ready to move along and harvest here. We basically need a full harvester and then a little bit beyond that. So the harvester does about 10,000 liters when it's full. So it's going to need to run through that, but we should be fine on this field and then get a little bit extra, obviously. So I will finish harvesting the field at some point, but right now my next focus will be to get that triticale done. And we had, as of yesterday, about 3,000 liters on the lettuce truck, but we're looking at, I think it was 7,000 liters or something that we needed. So again, it may not quite get into spring, but it's going to be a few more months, because I think maybe we'll have another 1,000 over there, 1,500 if we're lucky. This morning, I haven't taken a look, but I'm going to get my 13,500 triticale, and when we're making that delivery, we'll connect back up, so I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so we are moving along here, and we're going to get this harvested up. I am thinking we will have enough before it gets to the end. The harvester had actually filled up just before I pulled up to it. So I pulled a couple thousand out. And so, you know, it has to obviously get that refilled and then a little bit more. But you can see we're now at the point where we've caught up. We're at 12,000, so it just needs 1,500 more liters before the end of the row. And feeling pretty good that we're going to be there. If we're not, it's going to be really, really close. Again, I need to take that to the 0 kilometer shop right here, right around the corner. So 200, 300. I feel like I'm counting down to the landing of the plane. There we go. So we made it. It'll keep harvesting. I'm thinking it can't finish the field without emptying it, so we're probably going to end up with 10-20,000 liters. I don't know what is happening. Steering is challenging, but we should be good here. And then all we've got left is lettuce. Not a surprise. I kind of expected that we would be able to just plow through level 7 in an episode, because it was just going to be a lot of delivery. But it is coupled with, you know, doing some other things as well. So here we go. And this will finish the 4th of 5 orders. You know, and most importantly, we're going to get that 159,000 pounds of bonus from the VIPs around town once I get that 6,506 lettuce. I thought I needed 7,000, so I may be right there. So let me meet you there. All right, 6,506 liters here, October. So it didn't quite take us as long. We're about 6 months earlier than I expected. Here's our delivery point. So we're going to hope, obviously, that no hiccups and that we get things completed, but we should be at over 1.3 million pounds. So you can see we are 1.35 million pounds even. So I've gone ahead here and slept. And we're here in November. Let's take a look at what we've got. So very quickly, we'll get into it more, but got the doghouse, organic compost, interesting. Don't know what that is. So hopefully that's not something I'm going to have to punt on and figure out, but we've got some potato work finally with French fries. Our triticale again. But basically, 3 crops that we can focus on. So immediate need will be rye, but you know, this 66,000 of lettuce is going to be the death of us, and I'm pretty sure that honestly this is going to allow us to probably finish everything here and sit around and wait. Now again, the organic compost, I'm going to have to figure that out at some point. Don't know if that's going to be next episode or not. But, you know, obviously I'm going to focus on the first things. You know, we're going to need to get some butter going, so we'll see if I have enough milk to immediately get things going with the dairy. I don't actually remember if I own the dairy yet. So we're running into all those situations again that we're talking about. And again, with metal, I think I need other productions, table, you know, so there's buildings I need. And once again, we're only at 1.361 million pounds when we came here with over 8 million. So while we finally made a little bit of headway, we're just immediately going to be required to start spending again. And, you know, we're potentially going to run into an issue where we're going to run out of funds, and then we're going to have the hard discussion of, are we going to take loans? Because that was certainly not my plan. But, you know, sometimes plans change. We'll just have to see what things look like, because I can obviously continue along. But in the past, what I found is that those bonuses kind of tend to fund my purchases. But when I only got, you know, 150,000 or whatever pounds, that's one production location in some cases, so it's definitely going to be interesting. But with that, I'm going to wrap this up. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have and you haven't dropped a like, please consider doing that. It helps with the channel, it helps with the algorithm. And if you're not a subscriber yet, please consider doing that as well. It will help you find things easier here and also does help the channel. And I will see you next time.